Malekev's greatsword catches the Dragon Knight captain's knee on the first attempt, causing him to tumble to the ground. Subsequently, he brings down 3 additional attacks, causing blood to splatter through. With a surge of energy, Malekev brings the sword up again and continues to relay bash after bash under the Dragon Knight captain. Lying there lifeless, the captain's guard look on in horror as Malekev steps over the best of their men's bodies. The guard turn and run, scattering, trying to get away from the devastation that Malekev just brought upon their best. Sometimes, you've got to let your players shine. Encounters aren't all about just challenging them. Sometimes, encounters can be great because of how and what your players get to go through. So, let's give you the top 5 tips for actually having amazing encounters. Tip number 1, let your players shine. The power gamer that you have that's been waiting to unleash hundreds of hit points of damage because he's been waiting for that melee attacker, let him have it. Let him dish it out. The mage that's been carrying that one AoE spell, group up the goblins. Let him just mow them down. Sometimes there's nothing better than when a player's character gets to unleash everything that makes them powerful. Yes, we want to challenge our players, but at the same time, let them shine. Let them come through and just destroy whatever encounter you have planned. There is nothing wrong with that. Number 2, know your players' strengths and abilities. Kind of going in with let your players shine, also let them use their abilities. Give them challenges that actually are in benefit to their skill sheet. If you have a bard that has expertise and lots of skills, know that, and then give him challenges that he has expertise in, and especially challenges that you can say, this may be a difficult challenge for you to actually overcome, and then let him be successful because he chose to take expertise in it. Also know their weaknesses, and then throw something at them that exposes that weakness and let them overcome it. That will be the challenges. But challenges also have to come with those moments of intensity where they get to use their strengths. So balance it by knowing your players' both strengths and weaknesses. 3, reward creativity. If you have this massive encounter planned and your players figure out a way to nullify this massive encounter, this thing that you've put so much thought into, let their creativity be rewarded. I know you as a dungeon master want to see this encounter go off without a hitch and want to throw the challenges, but when they take the time to overcome those challenges outside of combat or in a different manner, reward that creativity. You can even share with them how massive an encounter it was going to be, but sometimes I tell people, don't do that. Let your creativity, their creativity, be rewarded in gameplay. Give them something special. Give them something extra because of that creativity. Allow that creativity to influence the actual encounters that you have designed. Number 4, give choices. These are choices that may or may not influence the players, but the players think they're making, whether they go down path A or path B because of certain reasons that you're giving them. You give clues. No matter what, those paths, this path and this path, may actually lead to the same place in your campaign. I can't tell you how many times I've said, this path, you can feel the wind actually being pulled through this path, and this path feels dark and stank and dusty. Doesn't matter which path they go down. It's both going to take them to a very open cavern area where they can get out. What happens there may be a little different based upon the initial description I give, but the bottom line is it kind of goes to the same place. But the bottom line is make sure that your players have choices. Number 5, make your choices have weight. When the players choose to do something, make it have a consequence in the game. If your players have the choice between going and taking out a look at a village that is actually supposedly has a shadow that's been haunting them and being a pain in their butt for weeks, and a goblin encampment, if they go to the goblin encampment and deal with that, when they come back, that village that had the shadow now is overrun by shadows and all the villagers are dead. So understand that give those consequences, those choices that your players make have weight. If they choose to deal with the shadows first, now the goblins have made friends. Your world, your players can't solve everything in your world at once, so make sure that those choices have weight. Regardless of how they impact the campaign overall, make sure that it feels like your players' choices in the world actually change how the world forms. So, I'd love to hear you comment below about what you use to actually make your encounters and campaigns amazing and engaging. As well, make sure that you like, make sure you subscribe. We love having you here and want to keep this content coming every day. As well as make sure you hit our Patreon. By now, we may have 1 subscriber. Our podcasts are going to be posting there, and they're going to be coming out on YouTube as soon as well. And as soon as we find a place for them to launch, they'll be coming out as well. Again, we appreciate it. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure that you're part of the community and help us grow this channel, because we love bringing this content to you, and we'll see you next time.